lively. Trying to stop it, but I can't. It's calling my name. 'Cause I'm back in the saddle like some old cowboy.
Fall is in the air and not a moment too soon. I'm Scott Hansen, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 3. Lots to get to. Let's start in SoFi Stadium. The Chargers at home to take on the Denver Broncos. And this is Courtland Sutton. He was absolutely electric. This one of 3 touchdown grabs for him in the game. The Broncos are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory. From there, let's move on to another compelling early season matchup. And here's a guy who took a big step forward last year, Chase Brown. He's looking for an opening, gonna find it, a 17-yard touchdown on the ground. The Bengals get the victory in the battle of unbeatens. One more to show you real quick. It's over in Tampa, the Buccaneers taking on the Jets. And it's the veteran Baker Mayfield. He connects on a 19-yard touchdown pass. The Buccaneers come away with a 17-10 victory. Until next week, Scott Hansen, good night from Orlando.
Collins. We in Miami and we ballin'. She let dollar pull up cause we mobbin'. Every time I'm in the city, we be locked in. Ay, locked in. Ball Harbor, take you shopping. Nikki Beach, we in the water. Free up, make it harder. 2 a.m. we ended up at Live. 3 a.m. we like Pope.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Sideline. That's head coach Zach Taylor. His guys sporting an unblemished 3-0 record so far. Along the opposite sideline, the head coach of the Broncos. His guys also 3-0 to begin the year, so this is one of the highlight games around the league this week. A warm welcome to all of you tuning in. Kate Scott and Brock Hewer with you as Evan McPherson's going to get us started. And Monday Night Prime Time is underway. And a good effort here as he gets it out past the 35-yard line. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. And bringing them out. He was a rookie last season when he took the Broncos to the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. Now a sophomore. It's Bo Nix.
At his best, Bo Nix is a point guard facilitating an offense. Getting that ball in and out of his hands as quickly as possible, but don't you dare sleep on his legs, because he will hurt you with his athleticism too. And oh, by the way, did I mention a maturity well beyond his years?
And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Nix from the gun. Throwing the out route complete. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a Broncos first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Knicks now on 1st and 10. Going deep here for the end zone. Oh, that's a tough one. Couldn't bring in the touchdown clean. It falls incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down. We're seeing this more and more these days, mixing some deep looks into that opening script. Brock test all levels of the secondary. They held up there.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the last time this defense will be tested. This group likes to push the ball down the field. They answered the call that time.
And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to and keep them from piling on those yards. You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
On 2nd down, here's Dobbins. We're coupled together a yard there. Brought down by Trey Hendrickson.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Kate, I've talked to you over the years, the transition to the NFL where the windows to throw are small. On 3rd down, smaller. Put dime defense on the field, and those windows become almost non-existent. All in all, Kate, we call that a good start. Offense established himself, moved the ball, and the kicker able to give him a lead.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. What a hit, and the ball's loose. And they dodge a turnover there on the return. So here are the Bengals now as they get set for their opening drive. And at the helm won his 2nd Comeback Player of the Year award last year with a career-best season. Now in year 6 here in the NFL, it's Joe Burrow.
2 numbers that a lot of people were focused on from his performance last week. That would be 3 and 0, as in touchdowns and interceptions. That's a quarterback who was efficient, aggressive in the right spots, but he took great care of the football. And, of course,
his first throw is an interception. Riley Moss with the pick. They're going to be set up with 1st and goal after that INT.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life, really on both sides of the ball. Now, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time when they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick 6, yeah, it stinks for the offense. But that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
Got it off that interception, Brock. Let's see if they can pay that off with points. Here's 1st and goal. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And he gets in, touchdown! The Broncos pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the grab game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Broncos go up 10-zip here in the 1st. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Cincinnati headed back out for its 2nd drive now. And I know it's It's early, Brock, but you can almost feel that they need some points to keep this lead from getting out of control and build up their confidence as well. Drive number 1 ended in that interception.
Yeah, totally co-sign that, Kate. Every bit of it. It's an early deficit, but there's still a whole lot of game left. You don't need to make up for it right away. You just need to start to see those chains moving.
Here we go. 180.
Burrow from the gun. And down he goes. The Bronco defense gets there. And they come through the sack to bring around 3rd down.
Defense's first sack of the game, Kate. We can now see some of the negatives, the trade-offs of his great running ability. When he tries to create, well, he can find himself going backwards, and in this case, a really big loss.
Broncos go with a dime look here on 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Brought in downfield by Gesicki. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's 1st down.
Here we go.
Burrow on the play action. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Let's get set.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, even with the pick on that last drive, partner, he is showing no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, in order to play this game, Kate, at this level, you've got to be aggressive. You can't let a previous mistake really affect your next decision. I'll say this as well. In the NFL, you throw into coverage too many times, you get more interceptions.
And they're going to be working from the red zone as he reaches the 16. That one goes for 31 yards and a 1st down when all is said and done.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
And he rips this one out and over the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Those are the kind of decisions you got to make in that spot. And the smart quarterbacks, they seem to do it consistently. When you're in enemy territory, a throwaway is always better than risking a turnover.
11 MP.
Let's get to the game here to Chase Brown. And this is going backwards. The defense all over that draw, and they're going to lose yards. 3rd down coming up. Yeah, so much for the pass, setting up the draw later in that drive, huh, partner?
Yeah, usually the draw, you need the element of surprise. The group defensively wasn't, and they hit that before it got started.
This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down.
11.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. The shot to the end zone is incomplete.
That's going to be a play tomorrow. When they watch it on tape, they're going to be kicking themselves a bit. Kate, you get man-to-man coverage down in the red zone, you got to take advantage of it. It's hard. Zone coverage and the windows are so tight. You get man, got to find a way to win.
McPherson's kick is good. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead 7.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is if the kicking team is out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Harvey now to return it. Making some progress here. And he was pushing for midfield there before they finally dragged him down at the 45.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Rob for the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
And again, an interception is dropped. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes him. It's going to be 3rd down.
That's a pretty cool look right there of the kind of coverage you're going to see when you play man-to-man. On that down and distance, you've got to be sharp on the outside. That DB certainly was.
to the air on 3rd and long. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
You and I know, Kate, it's on average about 60 to 65 plays a game, somewhere between 10 and 12 third downs. And what you don't want to do is start 0 for 2 in that column.
Here come the Bengals to take over once again. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Cincinnati into formation. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing is Burrow. Dumps it off to his running back. Shoots away from one. Up the sideline, past the 40. And he's going to be hauled out on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. Give him 37 on the play. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati. So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot.
Here we go. 11, mighty. 11,
First down carry for Brown. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Don Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago. Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 11, 11.
Burrow out of the shotgun.
11, MT, tank.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the first.
Come on, ready? Here we go. Right, 80.
Burrow setting up the play action. That's complete to Gesicki outright. And that's a huge hit there, but he's still able to power through enough for a 1st and goal.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably and then go to work after it.
Gun, gun. Stop.
From the red zone now. Caught just shy of the goal line. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
There's no question, Kate, big plays down the seam or big tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, gets good coverage, contested catches will really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
Right, 80. Stop.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals trim the lead to 1.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock. But I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, kid. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
Tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Harvey now to return it. He stopped on the run back at the 27. Broncos to the line now. It's 1st and 10.
Hold on a sec.
Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
7 at the 29-yard line.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Hold on a second.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So now they're going to have to figure out this third down. They'll throw, third and long. This is intercepted by Dex Hill. And the Bengals will take over as he records his first interception of our season. All right, defense did its job, forced the offense into a third and long, and that, in large part, partner, led to that interception.
Such a dichotomy, Kate, in so many ways. Offensively, we hear all the time what? Stay on schedule, avoid these situations. Defensive coaches, you know what they say, earn the right to rush the passer, earn the right to make them one-dimensional, and when you do, go pay it off. And they did in the biggest of ways with that huge INT.
Short pass brought in. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Burrow to the air now. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be touched down about 3 yards shy of the marker. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. It's caught. Chase has it. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
Let's get set. Right 80. Turbo shot. Right 80.
Off the play fake. Burrow. Got a man. It's Gesicki. And they'll get him down right along the line. So no gain is how we'll end the opening quarter. That's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll get you back to Mile High after this. We're all set to bring you the second quarter. The Bengals well within striking distance. Again, it's Burrow. Oh, again, it looks like a pick, but they drop it. Chance to steal it away in the end zone. They just can't finish the play.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
He's got it. He's got a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals parlay the interception into points. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals break that tie and now lead by 7. Harvey now to return it. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
All right, Denver getting everybody set. So they've got 1st and 10. Now a toss play with Dobbins. And they'll stop him after he picks up 4 to begin this drive.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate, training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
Now Nick's on 3rd down. Hits him on the out route. And this spot is going to be close, but he does not have that first. They're going to face 4th and short. Going for it on their own side, Brock. Okay, bold call, but they only need a yard. Here we go with Dobbins. He's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a first down.
That's simply a bet being made that not only is your call or scheme better, but that your players just want it more than the big fellas on defense do. And clearly on that one, they did.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. He put everything he had into this one.
Not a bad first look for him in the contest. This contest, I love them taking a shot, Kate. It's a shame, though, because this defense will tip the cap. They played that ball better than he could.
Nix again on 2nd and 10. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for the...
Oh, he was on the move, and so was the defense, and they take him down. And that sack brings the offense to 4th down. Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. He calls for the fair catch and has it at the 22-yard line. The Bengals and Jamar Chase about to take over on offense once again. They're on a 3-game winning streak, Brock, and working to stretch that out to 4. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
Here we go. What?
Burrow back to throw. He completes it in traffic. This one up to about the 27-yard line. Last season's Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain, hauling him to the ground. This is 2nd and 6 coming up.
Here we go, here we go.
They've got a man in motion. Burrow from the gun. Completed over the middle. He's taken down after reaching the 30. Talanoa Hufanga there to make the play. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Here we go, here we go.
Play action now. Burrow. It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they're staring at a 4th down now after that sack.
Even from the booth, Kate, I can hear it. I can hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did. Wasted no time in getting that sack.
Before that return amounts to much, they bring him down.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
First down now, ball at the 33. Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. And he has him right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. He'll get 16 yards on that play. And it's going to be 1st down, Denver.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
Throwing on 1st down, Nix. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he hits that enemy 25-yard line before he is sent out. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
That's another Broncos 1st down.
Nix from the gun. As a man, that's Cortland Sutton. And he nearly gets him another 1st down as they force him out just shy of the marker. All right up against that marker, but not there yet. It's 2nd and inches.
It's 2nd and inches.
Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. That's good for a couple of yards. And that's good for a Broncos 1st down.
Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Nix. That's dropped off for Dobbins. And he drives this forward to the 6.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
They run. Here's Dobbins. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains in next week.
It's a third down give to Harvey. And he couldn't get much there, but what he did get was absolutely crucial. That makes it first and goal.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
Throwing here, Nix. Escapes out to the left. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And it's step one towards a goal line stand. Still going to need a couple more, though. Second and goal coming up.
We talk so much about decision-making, and often it's the decision of where to throw it, right? Reading the defense, finding the right coverage to attack. But there's also great decision-making that comes with just getting rid of the football, just avoiding sacks. They are so detrimental. And that one, he had a ton of yards.
So a difficult third down coming up on the other side, Brock, of this 2-minute warning. More from Mile High in just a moment. Defense bringing in a fifth DB, third and goal. Third and long for him here. This one's caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Will Lutz getting the call on fourth down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. The kick by Lutz is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
One of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good than get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out.
Let's get set. Hey, can.
First down, Burrow to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Okay, this defense finally said enough, ripped up that script. They have seen him be way too productive. Time to start fighting him for every single throw.
Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. They'll check this one down, complete to the fullback. And this will only complicate matters for third down, partner. They're sent backwards.
Well, even a drop would have been better than that, frankly. Couldn't find a way back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a rare pass that actually loses yardage.
Broncos going nickel here, third down.
Here we go. 180. 180.
Here he goes, third and long. He'll dump this one off to his running back. Complete. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Ryan Stonehouse back out there again to punt it away. The Broncos have Marvin Mims deep to return. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. First down now, ball at the 33. Out of the gun, it's Nix. He's going to get a hand in there and knock that one away. So second down now after the incompletion.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can't get the pick, at least make sure a catch isn't made. That's the job of every defender out there, and he made sure that one wasn't completed.
So still 10 to go on second from the 33-yard line. Here's Nix to throw. Gets it downfield, on target to Sutton. All the
receiver this skilled? Well, he's got every route in his back pocket. But sometimes simple is better. No complicated cuts, no double moves. You just go run right by him.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Broncos push their lead to 3.
Bengals 17.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Has this at the 6. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bengal offense getting the football late in the first half. They don't have much time left, but facing a small deficit, they could try to get this into field goal range.
Can.
First and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Finds him over the middle. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Cincinnati uses its second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left in this half. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
Let's get set.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's out of bounds. It looks like they might have a shot block, but they're going to be left 2 yards short now. It's 4th down. The Bengals send out the punting unit. Ryan Stonehouse will kick it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And his return's going to leave him enough time for 2, maybe even 3 plays before the half. They've got first down here, but just 18 seconds to work with. Nix. He's got a man left. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8. 2nd down.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Looking for a pass on 2nd and short. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. All right, missiles. They've got a timeout. 7 seconds to go in this half.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Looking to throw. Gets everything he has under this one. Good coverage on that deep ball downfield. Throw knocked away. That's going to send it back to the line for 2nd.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not 2 hands that got on the football.
So a field goal game at the half. Good one so far. 2 quarters to go. Now it's check. Gonna have to make those halftime adjustments on the fly. We're skipping right through to the starts of the 3rd quarter. Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our 2nd half. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Out come the Bengals. It's their ball first, leaving the locker room. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10.
Ready?
Out the play fake. Burrow. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
That is not the way they needed to come out of the locker room here to begin the 2nd half. Trailing, got to play with a sense of urgency. You got to protect your quarterback. They didn't either.
Good time to reach in the bag of tricks on second down. 16 to go following the sack. Burrow out of the shotgun. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 27.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you can take a lick at any time.
Here we go.
On third down, here's Burrow. It's caught. Chase has it. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. That's 16 on the pickup. And the Bengals have a first down.
Good set. Right in. Right tuck.
Burrow setting up the play action. That's complete to Gesicki outright. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
He doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one, and it brings up third down.
That was pretty cool right there. I mean, that is an underrated effort on that play from his target, hustling and bustling his way to make sure he was in the neighborhood of that throw. So the Zebras, they couldn't penalize the throwaway.
Tight end in motion left.
Right 80.
Third and one. Burrow. That'll be complete to Burks. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. He'll come up on first and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. He gets it ahead and winds up with about 3. Riley Moss with that tackle.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Burrow on the play action. Has him on the crossing route. This one nearly moves the chains, but he stopped just shy of that marker. 6-yard pickup brings up third down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up third and inches.
Right 80.
Burrow's going to sneak it. And he's going to be touched down as he gets him enough to pick up the first down.
Kate, is there a simpler play in football that's come to life more than the QB sneak? We see all different varieties now, but it has become so darn effective. We've got a tough QB that wants to put it on his shoulders. You sign up for it.
Right 80. Right, stop.
Now we'll give up the middle to Piron. And that one's forward for 1, maybe 2 yards. Greg Greenlaw getting there for the stop.
And not a bad play by any means. There's room for more, and they know it.
Burrow from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
Get set. Big 13. Big 13.
He'll air it out on third. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And he's brought down at the line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's
pressure coming from the right edge, and they block it! And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
That protection has got to be able to hold up for a few seconds. It has to. Those are points that aren't going on the board now, and wasted effort by their teammates to get them to this point.
First and 10 now from the 30. This is Dobbins. And he gets it forward to show about a yard at last. Tackle made by Jaron Reed.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Nix from the gun. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first.
Well, nothing very fancy about that. That's just a textbook curl route. I think they were running curl routes last century, and it's a play that works a high percentage of the time then, just like it did now.
Third down run by Dobbins. He's got the first down grab and still going. And this is across midfield. I'm going to stop him at that 45-yard line. Well, this certainly has been a memorable contest for him. His coaches, man, they're going to take this kind of output every single game.
This goes a little beyond the expectations they have for him, maybe even for himself. What impresses me so much, Kate, the guy just doesn't tire. Getting stronger, literally, as this game's going on.
First down, and they go right back to it. Got the turnaround these last 2 plays, son. Nice gain on 1, and now they get him behind the line. That's a nice, quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play, and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Well, it seems like the only thing that's going to be able to stop this guy or even slow him down is going to be that final whistle, Brock. This defense has been inconsistent at best.
This is one of those moments where it just feels like it's a privilege to watch. Right? When you're at a concert and you're just listening to somebody that's the best of the best, you want more. And right now up in this booth, I want to see this guy continue to put on a show.
And they're going to have first and goal. He's out of bounds just shy of that 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that will set up first and goal.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Running this with Dobbins. His charge towards the line. It's right around 3 yards.
That run now has put them in such a great spot, Kate. You get a run like that inside the first and goal situations, there's a whole lot of confidence when you break the huddle.
Ball at the 2 here for second and goal. Harvey. And he's in for the touchdown. The Broncos push their lead further to start the half. In a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
One after try is good by Lutz. And the Broncos make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. On the return, here's Jones. He's stopped on the run back at the 27. Cincinnati just about set for its next offensive possession. And standout special teams play kept these guys from getting 3 out of that last drive. Probably not looking to leave anything to chance this time around. Take this one in for 6.
And the best way to keep a field goal from getting blocked is not to even put the field goal unit on the field. The extra point unit, that's what they're aiming for.
Dumps it off to his running back. And he's tackled for no gain.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
2nd and 10. Need something positive here.
Here we go. Stop. Stop.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. They're on him behind the line, and the give to the receiver doesn't work.
Hey, I love the jet sweep as much as anybody, Kate. It can be super effective, but here's the deal. Once you send that receiver in motion, well, you're doomed. Because if they bring an edge pressure or there's a blitz, there's really no stopping it. Because once that thing gets started, there's no audibling out of it.
6 defensive backs out there. Broncos going dime here on 3rd down. To the air on 3rd and long. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
There's not a quarterback alive that enjoys throwing it away on 3rd down. But that's a good case right there of live to play another day. Live to play another series, and don't put the ball in harm's way.
Takes it in at the 21. It's a nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. Denver ready for another offensive possession. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has it with the advantage as we move through this 3rd quarter. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Get some space around midfield. And he's all the way across midfield down inside that 45-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
1st down from the 42. Running it again with Dobbins. And a big gain followed by a little bit of a loss here. Defense getting the better of him on that run.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, it came at the perfect time.
And he works this to the 38 before going down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 6.
All right, we reached the final quarter of Monday Night Prime Time. It's the Broncos with the ball, trying to close out what would currently be a win. Six yards to go here. It's 3rd down. They'll throw 3rd and long. Near the goal line. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead.
There are a couple different ways now. You can win on a fly route. You can just run right by somebody, or you can use that big body, try to win a one-on-one matchup. Whatever way you go about it, this is the type of upside this route can provide.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Broncos take a 3-possession lead.
17. Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. return coming from the 6. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bengals. And scoring hasn't been the issue for him, Brock, but it has been impossible to hold pace with the offense on the other side of this football field.
And we know they can't get this all back in one play, but they better do it with a sense of urgency.
First down, Burrow to throw. They set up the screen to Chase. Big gain, has them across the 40. And he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Defense is set, 1st and 10. A give left side to Brown. Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop it behind the line. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
You know, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow finds him over the middle. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one.
And that's a modest little drag route. But if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Here we go. Right 80.
3rd and long for him here. Has him on the quick hitter. This gets the 1st and more. Down the left sideline he goes. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals get it back to within 2 possessions. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
That lead trimmed just a bit. Down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Harvey now to return it. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Broncos running their offense out once again. And they're already up by 2 scores, Bronc, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. We've set it downs for him from the 31. Throwing on 1st down, Nix. Caught, nice gain left side. Hits the 20. He gets it in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead.
You got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with the receiver, with that kind of speed, that is scary, and he just made him pay.
Extra point try now from Lutz. The point after splits the uprights. And the Broncos take a 3-possession lead. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Bengals on offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. On 1st down, here's Burrow. Completed to his running back. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he can reach that 40. An even 10-yard gain on the play. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Cincinnati.
More toss. This is Brown. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on 1st down.
You know, we love to talk about corners. Those corners that both love to tackle and cover. It's kind of the same thing with these defensive ends. Most of them love sacks. They love rushing the quarterback. But those that run down a toss play like that, they separate themselves from others.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Short pass brought in. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. The rookie from Texas there on the tackle. To the line. Here's 3rd and 3. Got on third down. It's Burrow. It's caught. Chase has it. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. He picks up 15 on the play. And the Bengals have a first down.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. Lobs this up left sideline, looking for something big. And the downfield call is going to go unanswered. Defender saw to that. That incompletion means it's second down.
You know, it's one thing to tell a quarterback not to telegraph a pass. It's quite another to fundamentally do the right things. You got to use your eyes to move defenders in this league,
Here we go.
especially on your primary target.
And second and 10 now. It's Burrow. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Here we go.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches. But heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Looks like we'll have a pause here. An injured Bronco out there and in some pretty obvious pain after that play. Now can't blame him looking at that scoreboard, right? Might as well go for this on fourth down.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
Desperation time here. He finds it beyond the marker. He runs this to the 25 before being brought down. They hit for 16 yards on fourth down and a drive a lot of us thought it stalled out. He's going to carry on. All right, they look set now. Here we go, first and 10.
Gun.
From the gun, it gets to Brown. Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Broncos all around him, and down he goes. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it third down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks, well, it's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Defense looking to defend the marker on third down.
Let's get set. Hot. 180. It's hot.
Here he goes, third and long. Connects on the crosser. And that nice catch not going to translate into a new set of downs just yet. The stop is made in time to make it fourth and short. Trying for it with Burrow. No good. The pass goes incomplete, and that lengthy drive ends with nothing but a turnover on downs.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
Almost set.
Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on second down. After that drive starts, the very minimal gain.
Almost set.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. Hits him on the out route. And he'll get it up to the 27. Give him 8 yards on the play. And it's going to be first down, Denver.
First down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Almost set.
A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. Give him a couple on that carry. Second down coming up.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Nix from the gun. And it's dropped off for Dobbins. He's going to get a few here, brought down at the 33-yard line.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep them short of the sticks.
Now Nick's on third down. It's in or no, they dropped another one. Hicks dropped on back-to-back plays, Brock. It does force a fourth down. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stops. Here come the Bengals to take over once again. They passed on the field goal, didn't get it on fourth down. Interested to see what they do if a similar situation arises on this next possession.
Here we go.
This drive will begin with a run by Brown. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. We have somebody in some discomfort down there, so we're going to have a stoppage as they head out to take a look at, the tight end, Mike Gesicki. Back to the line they go. It's second down.
Here we go, here we go. Right 80.
Off the play fake, Burrow. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Talanoa Hufanga makes the play. And the Broncos will get it back with some time to work with. We reached the 2-minute warning. Got it off that interception, Brock. Let's see if they can pay that off with points. Here's first and goal. Dobbins. And he's bottled up the line on the final play before the 2-minute warning. Only a yard that time, and now it's second and goal from the 1.
Brings up second and goal.
Again, it's Dobbins. And he does not get in. They stop him at the 1. Stopped once again, and now suddenly they're left with third and goal.
All I can really say about that one, Kate, at least he managed to make it out of the end zone. Now staring at a third down at your own 1. Yikes.
Running for it with Dobbins. And he's in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos keep adding to that fourth-quarter lead. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. So an exclamation point there. That caps off what, and I think you'd agree, Brock, has been a dominating performance.
Yeah, I would. Really in all phases, too. I thought coming in that this would be a much closer game than how it's turned out to be. And you got to give credit where it's due. This offense has been outstanding throughout.
Lots there to tack on the extra point. And the Broncos make it a 24-point ball game. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. And there's a final opportunity to make things a little closer in that final score.
Here we go.
Here's Brown to start the drive.
Here we go.
They bring him down, but not before he picks up 7, Brock, to begin this drive. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down.
That run may not have gotten you a first. Sure, nice little run to set the table.
Last run got him 7. Here comes second and 3. Tight end in motion now. Give on second, it's Brown. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. Cincinnati uses its second timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
Here we go, here we go. 180.
Play action now, Burrow. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That was Jamar Chase he was looking for there. And it sets up second down.
Hey, I get it. If any of their pass catchers have what it takes to beat double coverage, it's him. The kids would say, he's him. That defense knew it. That's why they doubled him and knocked it away.
Burrow on the play action. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Picked off Brandon Jones. And the Broncos will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
Intercepted. The Broncos take over 1st and 10.
I'll hear a lot of defensive coordinators say you've got to earn the right to rush the passer by doing work on the early downs. You know what this is, Kate? They've earned the right to be aggressive defensively with the work they did through 3 quarters, and this defense is cutting it loose.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. Nick's getting to stretch his legs a little bit here. So to the side of being mile-high salutes throughout the building. It's a win at home for the Broncos. Well, what began as just a good start to this season might be becoming something a little bit better, Brock. 4-0 now. There may be some serious legs to the start they're having here.
Yeah, let's not go calling them the 72 Dolphins yet, Kate. Not a season left. But you'll hear coaches, especially in this first month of the season, call it stacking wins.
Yep.
And you know, if you can sustain success and you stack these wins early, you're typically a playoff team late.